I'm going to tell you the 4 biggest things that make singers sick, and an opportunity that you have right now that you probably will never have again. Hey there, it's Kim Snyder, professional singer, certified vocal coach, and creator of the Voice Club method. I teach singers like you to unlearn, unlock, and uncover what your voice can really do. We're in the midst of the coronavirus, and you're getting tons of advice right now. A lot of people are doing home training to try to spend their time getting better at things, and this is a perfect time, especially for you who are casual singers, regular singers, you're on a worship team, for you to really educate yourself about some special considerations that really only apply to singers when it comes to colds and flu and viruses, things like that. Now, I always find it kind of funny when singers will say, "Oh, I'm not going to sing because I'm sick." If you were singing all the time, doing as much singing as you wanted to do, what are the chances that you would have to sing sick? Probably pretty good. Now, as a professional singer, I've had some unique opportunities to sing with the raging, vomiting flu, where you run out, you sing a song, and then you kind of wheel your way to the side and you use the bucket, and you go back out. I mean, singers who actually sing for a living have to sing sick all the time. You have to be really careful with a lot of things because the wear and tear on the body of a singer is much more than just if you were doing an office job or a typical job. And that's what singers don't know. I've also had a unique opportunity to become a serious germaphobe after a doctor made a mistake and I almost died from septic shock, and no one could get near me without putting on layers and layers of hand antiseptic stuff because any little germ would have killed me. So I get being afraid of things that can really impact you. We've got a whole new level of fear right now, and it's a great opportunity for you to learn about some things that you're not taking seriously outside of a time like this that you really should be. Let's start with the 4 biggest things that make singers sick in the first place. And honestly, chances are you've probably been ignoring all 4 of these. But there are some things that really put your vocal anatomy at risk. And number 1 is dehydration. Water to the body is what gas is to the car. And if water is your gas and you're going to drive through a storm, the first thing you do is check the gas. Now, we need water for our body, but what most people don't take into account is when you open your mouth, you expel up to 10 times more moisture than you do in just your everyday talking situation. So when you go to sing, if you think about every song, that entire time you're singing, you're expelling 4 to 10 times as much moisture as you would normally. Then when you look at what they tell us to drink for water, you need your 8 cups of water a day, you realize that those don't even come close. Drinking 8 cups of water a day is for someone who's just sitting on the sofa not really needing anything from their body. A healthy singer, on a month that you're going to be out singing, let's say you're on a worship team and you're on team for 6 weeks, or you're singing regularly every weekend going out with your friends, or you're part of a band and you're going to gig every other weekend. A regular singer, that would be any of those, needs to be consuming more like 15 cups of water every day. And this is not something you can just grab an extra 30 cups of water on the day you have to sing, because it can take up to 2 weeks for the body to get hydrated. So think about this. Water is your gas. You have to put gas in your car before you can go somewhere. So if you have a singing thing coming up, you've got to be feeding that water to your body starting as soon as you find out about the gig, which is generally not 2 weeks ahead of time. If you're lucky, it is. If you plan on singing in the next couple months, just make it a habit. Have water with you at all times and guzzle that stuff. Oh, quick little water tip. If you have acid reflux, squeeze a little lemon into it every time you drink water. There's a whole misconception that lemon is acidic, and if you have acid reflux, you shouldn't put acid in there. The tricky little thing is that when acid goes into your digestive tract, it turns alkaline. So actually putting lemon juice in your water will help to keep acid reflux at bay. Get used to putting lemon in your water. Lemon does a lot of good things for the body, and it helps your acid reflux too. The number 2 reason singers get sick is stress. Are you feeling any stress lately? Yeah, these are stressful times, but if you're honest, you probably had quite a bit of stress before the pandemic, right? So right now your body is super stressed. And that's really the way your body feels when you've got the added pressure of singing coming up. You've got a solo, you're singing on team, It's not something you do every single day, and so there are nerves combined with it, and that adds to stress. It's not something we really honor, but if you've got all that memorizing and rehearsing, all the stuff you've got to keep track of on top of everything else in your life, just preparing to sing adds a lot of stress to your life. Number 3, lack of self-care. We do a lot of stuff for ourselves. We go get mani-pedis and we go to the spa. We might think we take great care of ourselves. But when it comes down to it, if you take 2 equally talented singers who are going out on tour, one of them ends up getting vocal damage and can't last the tour. The other one seems to stay pretty healthy and sails through it. Many times, the defining difference comes down to self-care. Misusing your vocal anatomy, singing in ways that are harmful for your voice, is the number one reason that we actually shorten the life of our voice. Next time you see a casino board, see what old hit musician or band is singing there. And then think about other acts from that genre. How many of them are not on tour anywhere? It's because they've blown out their voice really early. And there are very few of them left that still have life in their voice. It's one of those things that drives me absolutely crazy because we don't educate singers on the things that we do that actually take years off your voice. Using the voice in a way that it's not meant to be used, and this usually comes from well-meaning but ineffective vocal advice, all the way up to damaging vocal things. We copy other singers and we do all sorts of things that really gum up the vocal machine. Those things that we think we figure out so that we can do a certain trick or something, in the long run, will actually make us sound worse and will shorten the life of our voice. Also up there in self-care, we've already talked about hydration, but there is rest and nutrition. Your voice is an anatomical machine, no different than your legs if you were a runner. You have to take care of the whole body and you have to strengthen the legs so that they can do what they need to do when they go race. It's the same thing with your voice. You've got to rest so that the body is ready. Nutrition is how we feed the engine of the car. What we put in our body determines how far we can really take our vocal machine. The number 4 way that we really mess up our voices: alcohol. One thing you may have heard lately with the coronavirus and COVID-19 is that the alcohol wipes can dry out the surface of your skin. If you haven't heard this, this is important. Alcohol wipes dry out the surface of your skin, and when the surface of your skin is dried out, it's more likely to accept in germ matter. So we need our hands to stay hydrated. The same thing applies to the inside of your body. Alcohol inside the body strips the anatomy of needed moisture. It really affects the entire body, but it very much does affect the vocal anatomy. If you're under stress and you're dehydrated, maybe you're not sleeping so well, and then you go drink before you sing, yeah, that's a quadruple whammy there. That's a really bad recipe for a bad voice, and in the long run, a really shortened life on your voice. Now, if you enjoy having a drink when you go out to sing, here's a general rule for you. Give yourself 24 hours of no alcoholic beverages before you sing. If you want to have a drink with friends afterwards, go ahead and do that. But just like an athlete wants to fuel their machine so that they can get ready for a competition, we need to fuel the body to make sure that the voice has everything it needs until we're done singing. What happens if we don't? We won't sing as well, and unfortunately, little by little over time, we tend to get vocal damage. And it does happen slowly until all of a sudden we've got a big problem and we don't have a clue where it came from. Now let's talk about some things we can do that are really good for our body. Singing. That's the main one. Did you know that singing is actually really good for your body? Scientists have known this. Medical research has been publishing articles about this for decades now. Singing is an anti-anxiety drug. It really helps to chill us out, so that's why you should be singing when you're stressed. It can really help you. Singing is actually a happy drug. It releases endorphins, which are the feel-good hormones, so that's why we get happy when we sing. Singing lowers your stress by releasing cortisol, and singing actually boosts your body's immunity by releasing chemicals in the brain that do just that. Singing also improves your sleep, and it's actually been used in trials to help people replace pain medication. And as a chronic pain patient, I can tell you that is absolutely true. When I'm singing, I can get through an entire song without feeling how much pain I'm in. Singing keeps the brain so busy making endorphins and cortisol and all the good things that the brain can't send the pain signal, or not nearly as much, because it's kind of real busy with the good things. singing is powerful. And if you think that's good, did you know that you can give the same health benefits to others just by singing to them? Just listening to somebody else sing. Now, I have a theory here. I think if the singer looks nervous or doesn't seem to enjoy what they're doing, if the singer isn't enjoying the benefits of singing themselves, I think it's harder for the audience to catch the benefits. Just a theory. But I know when I see a singer just enjoying what they do, I get the feel-good hormones right away. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really want to know how I can serve you. If you have something you'd like to learn next, would you put it in the comments? Just say, I want to know how to, whatever. I want to help you do that. There are few things on earth that have as much benefit as singing. So get that playlist out. Let's go.